Good afternoon. Today we will present our material, namely the morphology plant morphology, fruit and seeds, by group 7. Our member is Muhammad Rehan Bramantio, Metagafe Christian Panggabean, and Sylvia Dwi Rahmadani. First material will be present by Metagafe.
Next.
Okay.
Thanks to the moderator, I will explain the formation and morphology of fruit, as well as introducing a little about the classification of fruit. Next. The first is formation and morphology fruit. Fruit is the perfect growth of the ovary. Fruit can be formed from each ovule containing one or more ovules, each of which contains egg cells that are fertilized through the process of pollination. Apart from fruit formation through the pollination process, fruit formation can also occur without the pollination process, or we can call it parthenocarpy. Next. The first is pollination. Pollination is the process of pollen arriving at the stigma. This process can occur in two ways, namely self-pollination or autogamy, and cross-pollination or allogamy, which is usually assisted by insects or vine. In the pollination process, there are several stages that occur, namely as follows. Is the first is pollen germination. It is an active process when pollen that has fallen on the stigma begins to grow and develop. When the stigma is at the right humidity and pollen falls on its surface, the pollen will begin to absorb water from the stigma. The pollen cells walls will become more active until cell division occurs in the pollen. After that, a bulge of pollen will form, which will later develop into a pollen tube. This tube will later connect the pollen to the egg cell. The second is pollen penetration. It is the process of the pollen tube entering the pistil tissues towards the ovary. Pollen tubes will begin to form 9 hours after pollination. After these 9 hours, the pollen tube will pass through the layers of pistil cells towards the ovule. When it reaches the ovary, preparation will occur for the release of male gametes. The third is fertilization by pollen. After a pollen penetration stage, two male gamete cells from the pollen tube will reach the egg cell in the ovule until fusion occurs between one male gamete cell and the egg cell. The result of fertilization of this egg cell will form a zygote containing chromosomes from both parent cells. Meanwhile, the second male gamete cell functions as a polar nucleus and will produce triploid endosperm. This endosperm is the food reserved for seed development. And the last is fruit formation. Fruit formation can be said to be a response of the ovule to the success of previous fertilization. At this stage, the ovaries will begin to develop and activate fruit growth hormones such as the auxin hormone, which will regulate the division of fruit wall cells, the cytokinin hormone, which influences later fruit growth, and the ethylene hormone, which will control the fruit ripening process. If the growth hormones are active, the process of division of the fruit wall cells will occur until they reach large number to form basic tissue. The cells will develop until their internal structure matures. After the cells develop, they will enter the fruit ripening process. We will be able to see change in the color and texture of the fruit. When the fruit is ripe, the psychological ripening of the fruit is complete, like the ovule previously developing into seeds. The polar nucleus develops into endosperm, and it is the ovary that develops into the flesh of the fruit that we have been eating. We can see the stage of the pollination process in the video below. Next. And then parthenocarpy. Parthenocarpy is the process of fruit formation without fertilization by pollen. According to research by Rizaldi and friends, parthenocarpy can be divided into two processes, namely natural and artificial. Natural parthenocarpy, that is the process of fruit formation without fertilization that occurs naturally without any external influence that we call obligative parthenocarpy. The example, there are Nanas homosus, or we call it nanas, pineapple, and Musa paradisiaca, or we call it banana. And the second is facultative parthenocarpy. It is the process of fruit formation without fertilization that occurs due to help from outside the plant body. This is facultative parthenocarpy. For example, is watermelon, or we call it is Citrullus lanatus. The second is artificial parthenocarpy. Artificial parthenocarpy occurs due to help from outside the plant body. This artificial parthenocarpy is divided into two types, it's namely phytohormones parthenocarpy and genetic engineering parthenocarpy. Phytohormones parthenocarpy, which use fruit growth hormones such as the administration of auxin and cytokinin hormones. And then genetic engineering, which is carried out through genetic modification or modern genetic engineering techniques by humans. In genetics engineering, this is done by manipulating the genes that regulate fruit formation. Next. And next is morphology of fruit. Fruit has parts called pericarp or fruit skin and seed. The pericarp of the fruit originates from the wall of the mature ovary. The pericarp can be thick and fleshy or hard, and thin or thin and smooth. The pericarp is divided into three: carp and endocarp. Epicarp, the skin of the fruit. In this epicarp, there is reduced water exchange. The second is mesocarp. This is the middle flesh of the fruit. In the mesocarp, the nutrients from the fruit are stored in parenchyma cells and contain and the last is endocarp. The endocarp or seed membrane is the direct contact with the seeds. It has harder texture than the mesocarp, so it resembles a protective membrane that protects the seed chamber. Next. And then is classification divided into two types, namely as follows: is pseudofruit or accessory fruit and true fruit. Pseudofruits are fruits. It involves additional parts of the flower. For example, we can see that mangkudu or Morinda citrifolia. And for another example is apples from receptacle development and strawberries developing from receptacles too. And the second is true fruit. True fruit develops exclusively from the flower ovary and thus contains seeds. Example, there is Persia americana or avocado. Based on the type of gynoecium that develops by paying attention to the relationship between carpels and other flower parts, so it is divided into single fruit, multiple fruit, compound fruit. This part will be explained by my friends. I return it to the moderator.
Okay, next material will be present by Sylvia.
Okay, thanks to the moderator. I will continue to explain about classification of fruits. The first one is fructus nodus, or we call true fruit. A fruit that formed from the ovary or at most has remnants of the flower part that have usually fallen off. And the second is fructus spurious, or accessory fruit or pseudofruit. A fruit that formed from the ovary along with other parts of the flower that participate in fruit formation and are the most noticeable, while the true fruit is often not visible or covered, also called a closed fruit or fructus caulos. Next. Accessory fruit are divided into several types. The first one is single accessory fruit. A single accessory fruit formed from one flower that has only one ovary. In addition to the ovary, other part of the flower, such as the sepal or pedicel, also contribute to the formation of the fruit, making it an accessory fruit. For example, is apple. The flesh of the fruit is derived not only from the ovary, but also from the phloem receptacle. Pearl. Similar to the apples, the flesh of the pearl is formed from the ovary and other flower parts. Next. The second one is multiple accessory fruit. A multiple accessory fruit formed from one flower that has several ovaries, but other part of the flower, such as sepal, pedicel, or petals, also contribute to the formation of the fruit. For example, is strawberry. Its small sand-like structure of the strawberry surface in an individual fruit formed from the ovary, while the fleshy part comes from the enlarged receptacle. Next. The third is compound accessory fruit. A compound accessory fruit forms from several flowers that fuse into one fruit. Each flower in the group will produce its own ovary, and other part of the flower contribute to the fruit formation. For example, is pineapple. Pineapple composed of multiple flowers that merge, with all flowers producing its own ovary, but ultimately forming a single large fruit. Mulberry, this fruit is formed from multiple flowers that are closely packed, and the structure appearing as a single fruit is actually made up of multiple fused flowers. Next. True fruit is also divided into several types. The first one is single true fruit. A single true fruit forms from one flower that has only one ovary. This fruit entirely comes from the ovary without involving other parts of the flower. For example, is mango and orange. Mango, the entire fruit develops from a single ovary in one flower. Similarly, orange develops from a single ovary within one flower with the fruit flesh forming from the ovary. Next. Second one is multiple true fruit. A multiple true fruit from one flower that has several ovaries, and each ovary develops into a separate fruit that is still connected to each other. For example, is watermelon and melon. Melon formed from multiple ovaries within a single flower, which merge into one large fruit. Similar to melons, watermelons develop from multiple ovaries in one flower. Next. And the last one is compound true fruit. A compound true fruit formed from several flowers that fuse into one large fruit. Each flower produces its own ovary, but the result is single unified fruit. For example, is fig, composed of many flowers that fuse into one large fruit, where each flower contributes on individual ovary. I return to the moderator.
Thank you to Sylvie. Next material will be present by Muhammad Rendra Mantio. Okay, the next material is it. Our material is 2.0. one, embryo and seed development and seed parts. Seed is a reproductive structure in flowering plants that function as a means of propagation and dispersal. It contains an embryo that can develop into a new plant after undergoing germination. That's embryo and seed development. Embryo development begins the fertilization, where a sperm cell from pollen is fertilized the egg cell in the ovule. In the ovule. After fertilization, the zygote develops into an embryo consisting of the embryonic root, embryonic stem, and seed leaf. During this process, the ovule transforms into a seed covered by the testa, while the ovary develops into a fruit that protects the seed. According to research by Tiwari et al. 2022, embryo development is highly influenced by genetic factors and environmental conditions, such as temperature, and humidity. Hormones like auxins and gibberellins play a crucial role in regulation embryo grow until seed maturation. So, part of a seed. So, part of seeds part. A seed consists of several main components, each with the specific function. One, testa or seed coat protects the embryo from dehydration and external damage. Two, embryo, the future plant structure, including the radicle, hypocotyl, epicotyl, and cotyledons. Three, endosperm, a nutrient storage tissue that supports embryo grow with some seeds, such as corn and rice. In dicot seeds, the endosperm is usually absorbed before seed maturation. According to expert research by Singh et al. 2021, indicate the chemical composition of the endosperm significantly affects seed germination and early plant growth. The content of carbohydrates, proteins, and lipids in the endosperm determines how quickly the embryo can develop after germination. And three, sprout. There are 3 points that sprout. One, inhibition. Water absorption by the seed, which activates enzyme and initiates embryo metabolism. Two, hydrolysis and nutrient mobilization. Stored nutrients in cotyledons or endosperm are broken down into simpler forms to support embryo growth. Three, embryo development. The radicle emerges first from the testa, followed by the growth of the hypocotyl and epicotyl, which eventually from the first leaf. According to expert, searched by Chen et al. 2023, external factors such as temperature, humidity, and the presence of light have a big influence on the success of germination. Okay, that's all to us. Thank you to listening. Sorry for mistake. And thank you.